Okay, here we are on Record Collector with the great band Blues Pills, and I suppose we could call you a Swedish band, but there's a mixture of sort of nationalities. There's a bit of French, American, and say Swedish. But got an eponymous album coming out end of July. It's called obviously Blues Pills. And I'm with lead singer Elin Larsson and guitarist Dorian Sorriaux. I said that right. Hi guys, how are you two?
We're doing good.
Good.
Thank you for being here.
And with this album, well, let's talk about the name first, because a lot of people may confuse it with Blue Pills, but it's Blues Pills. So how did you come up with the name?
We got the name from a music blog our friend had. His name is Jens Hyde, and he had like 60s obscured music on it. And when we were performing Blues Pills, we asked him if we could use that name because we thought it would fit. So he said,
fantastic, and you are both young, like Dorian, you're just 18, and Elin, just a little touch, just a few months older, I'll be polite here. But you know, how do you being so young, how comes you've been inspired so much by like the 60s and 70s sort of psychedelic rock?
I guess it's like, for me, I'm so into good singers, and somehow like back in the 60s and 70s they wrote so good music and they were so good musicians. And I think that's what kind of like, you know, draws me to that. But I like a lot of music, like I'm into a lot of different genres.
And how about you, Dorian?
Well, I always had a big interest in blues and rock music. So when I was a child, I really got into blues, rock, and so then of course the 60s and 70s were really the period that I really liked, and just a matter of taste.
And was it like your friends got into music, or did your parents have a big record collection that you used to look through?
Yes, sort of. Well, yeah, my dad introduced me to bands like ZZ Top, and so I really got into blues rock and yeah.
And how about you, Elin? Was your parents big music fans?
Yeah, my dad was. He is. Definitely. Like it was a lot of Beatles and Cat Stevens and like different kinds of. Even like classical music, like my mom used to listen to that. So, but I also got like, I went to music school and all of my friends were very like into music, so we like exchanged music with each other. So.
And you must tell me, how did the band all come together? Because there is a couple of Americans and I think the Swedish and the French connections. How did you all meet?
It's a long story, but I lost my job in Sweden. I got fired. And I had like saved up money and I always wanted to go to California. So somehow when I lost my job, I was like, just wanted to go somewhere alone and just kind of find myself.
Yeah.
And I rented out my apartment and then I flew over to California in the States, and I met Zach and Corey, who's the drummer and the bass player of the band, and they're stepbrothers. And we became friends, and then we started to jam and write music, and somehow in that way we like got offered a tour in Spain and in Portugal, but we were only 3 people that time, so we wanted to find like the guitar player from Blues Pills, and they met Dorian.
Yeah.
And I believe you was only about 14 when they first sort of met you, is that right?
Yeah, 14 or 15. Yeah, I had a band with a couple of friends, and we got to open for Zach and Corey's ex-band, and we got along really well right away, and kept on talking on Facebook and internet. And then when they formed Blues Pills, they sent me the link, a couple first demos, and quickly then they asked me to record on what became later on the first EP, and they asked me to do a tour with them, the first tour in Spain and Portugal. And then I came to Sweden and we started jamming, and and then
he ended up in the band.
You make it sound so easy.
But it was.
It was, yeah. It came really naturally, even though it sounds
really weird. But like the only thing that was hard was like the visa thing.
Of course,
for the Americans, but eventually that got sorted out. Things just worked out.
And how does the band work together? Like, was it an instant chemistry between you? Was it instantly recognisable? We thought, we've got something special here.
Yeah, I think for me it was like I somehow during that time
I thought he some ice creams. Special blues pills ice cream.
No, but I think during that time I felt like really lonely, and when I met Zach and Corey, like they kind of, it was something that, you know, like, and then I met when we played with Dorian, and like it's like a second family, like really connected.
Yeah. And Dorian, obviously being so young, you know, there you are on stage, and we're still not old enough to buy some beer in some places, you know, like lucky you're 18 now, but you know, like when you were touring last year, you were 17, you know, so was that a bit annoying at times?
Yeah, well, it was a great experience because I started touring. I was 16 and I couldn't speak any English. I'd never, you know, been out of France, and so it was really a learning experience. That's looking back, well, it was great.
And let's talk about the album, because it's produced by Don. I hope I get this word right. Don Alsterberg.
Yes.
He's obviously Graveyard and many other bands, and what sort of influence did he have on the album? Did he like point you in any direction?
It sounds it's still a blues pills. It sounds like a bit, you know, like what we've released before, but there is a bit more of a soul and a groovy touch to it. And
it's a little bit more thought through.
Yeah, the songs are a bit more.
And it's surprising actually. There's one song in there called Gypsy, which is like an old Choppy Checker cover, and you know, it's great you've gone right back to the roots of sort of rock and roll. But you know, why did you decide to do a Choppy Checker cover?
Actually, like Zach showed me that song and that record, and I was just like in love with it. And we showed Dorian and Corey also, like Zach and whatever, and we all like really liked that song, like, and we started to jam it, and then we started to sound check it on our sound checks, and then like finally like it kind of sneaked into the set list, and people like really liked it. So then when we were in the studio, we were like, yeah, maybe we should do that song, like, and also just the fact like back like people were doing each other's songs. It was more like, you know, to honor each other, and we really liked that song, and we wanted to have it on the album and kind of like make it in a blues pills way too.
Of course, yeah, you've done it in your own unique style, and it works really well. It's a great song. And tell us about the artwork, you know, 'cause it's fabulous artwork. You've gone back to like the Grateful Dead kind of look, you know, sort of them 60s and 70s posters, psychedelic. So who did the artwork for the album cover?
Marika Curie-Dunham, and she's like a famous artist. And it's kind of a funny, kind of cool story, because every time we had artists make art to us, we always like wanted to have like the Incredible String Band has like a awesome painting that is made by her, and we showed it and like sent, we're like, what do you guys like? And we always sent that one, and finally I think it was Zach that was like, maybe we can contact her and see like if she wanted to do something for Blues Pills. And so he emailed her, and she like responded, and she wanted to work with us, and we could like pick like either she could make like a completely new one, or we could use one that haven't been used, like that she painted in the 60s, and so then she sent some pieces over, and then we saw that one, and we were just like, we really want that.
It's a striking album cover, it really is. And you've got some festivals this year. You played like Sweden Rock Festival and Hellfest. Now, which ones are you really looking forward to?
Both of those.
So I know like Sweden Rock, obviously you're playing with Black Sabbath, and I imagine you're big fans of them.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I can't really understand we're doing that. I think I'm gonna like realize we're doing all that when we're there, like on stage. So that's so cool.
What's been the highlight of your career so far? I know it's still early days, but you've had 2 EPs out, and you have been getting all the critics and the fans love you so much at the moment. You know, so what's been the highlight so far?
A couple months ago, pretty much all my family showed up at a show. So there was my parents and my grandma and my sisters and everything. So it was really special for me, because they'd never, see me really play on stage anyways with Blues Pills. And my little sister and my grandma were sitting front row, and that was a cool vibe to that show. It was really special.
And was you nervous before the show, knowing that you're playing in front of so many family members?
Not really, not that much, but it was definitely special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've been so lucky because it's been happening so cool. Like been a part of so many stuff. Like we did a tour with Orchid, and we were like on the Nightliner, which is like, you know, incredible when you think back to that.
Yeah.
Like that's cool to be a part of that. And also when we toured we've been to Australia and toured with Cadaver, and we played a show with Witchcraft in Stockholm. That was like in the beginning, and just like working with Dawn is also, you know, like pretty.
So you just mentioned Australia. Some bands wait 30 years before they get a chance to play Australia.
Yeah, it's just like crazy. And we had released like one EP. I mean, that's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
I was quite fortunate. I saw you earlier this year. You came over, you played like Dingballs. You just mentioned with Orchid and Scorpion Child. And you only got to play like 4 songs, you know, because it was like a 4-band bill and it was like a half-hour set. But you just knocked everybody away, you know. I think if there's like an awards for like band of the day, you would have been to Blues Pills, you know. No disrespect to the other bands, but straight away, you know, you blew everybody away. And thought, this band was something special. And unfortunately, he's going to play the Desert Fest here in London. But unfortunately, a little bit of illness, and but you're looking healthy and everything's all back to. You're playing a special show on. It's actually on the day of the release of the album on July the 28th. The Old Church, St. Pancras. I think we've got the right order. But it's a very old church, and you haven't seen it yet yourselves. But why have you decided to do a showcase gig there, and not a bigger venue as such? Because it only holds about 100 people.
I think like this idea was the UK office, Nuclear Rest idea, and I think so. I don't know who it was, but someone been there, you know, and they like really thought it was a great place and like really like magical.
Oh, it is. I've been there myself.
Yeah, and I think since it's our first album release and the debut of the album, and it's on the day, I think it's perfect to have something special and something small, you know, and really like create like a memory. And
the fans that have been lucky enough to get tickets, it's sold out straight away. But what can the fans expect from that show? Well, we can't give too much away, I suppose.
We'll be playing the songs from the new album.
Yeah, and just like I think it's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be like magical. Kind of like.
Have you ever played in a church before?
Not like electric. I played in the church.
Yeah. I think what's special about the old church St. Pancras is it's a very tiny church. It's about, I think it dates back about 2 centuries, and it's got a lot of history to it. You know, I don't know if you're fans of the Beatles. I think you are, but the Beatles, there's like an iconic photo of the Beatles. It's on a park bench just outside in the graveyard, and that park bench is still there. So get there early and get your photo taken. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for the tip.
And what was the plans for the rest of the year?
Lots of touring. We'll get all the festivals this summer, and we're planning a European tour after the summer.
Will that be a headline tour, or are you going out to school?
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
It's coming together.
Yeah, we're booking it, and yeah.
Brilliant. And before we wrap this interview up, have you got any message for your fans out there?
Thank you for listening to our music, and
I'll say great band, Blues Pills. The album, it's called Blues Pills, and it's out on July the 28th in England. In Europe, they get it 3 days earlier, July the 25th. In America, they've got to wait a week, August the 5th.
Yeah.
Elin, Dorian, it's been great talking to you both. Wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.